Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and I want to take a look at the LG V30 and revisit it. Almost a forgotten phone, overshadowed by other flagships out right now, but still a very solid phone. So I want to go ahead and revisit it, talk about the good and bad things after using it for a solid amount of time. Let's get started. LG released the V30 back in September. It did turn some heads, especially with the lack of bezels it had. And now they did go with a different design than the previous V10 and V20 models. So with the newer updated design, it is similar to just a larger G6. And overall, when it comes down to it, design is one of the good things about the LG V30, especially with those very slim bezels. I always kind of attribute it to being similar to that of the Galaxy S8 Plus. Size-wise, it's a little bit taller, the S8 Plus. However, the V30 is just a little bit wider. So very similar in terms of the amount of bezels on the two. And one of the good things about the V30 is the design. They did go with the very bezel-less look, which I am happy about because I'm a fan of that. If you want a comparison, you might want to take a look at the Galaxy S8 Plus, which does look fairly similar to the V30. As you can see, as bezels get smaller, it's a little bit more difficult to differentiate. Obviously, the S8 has those curved sides, whereas the V30 does not have those. Aside from the front of the device, you have a power button with an embedded fingerprint scanner on the back, which does take a bit of time to get used to. However, I find that you can just rest your finger on it, and if you need to lock it, just press the button again. And luckily, LG implements a double tap to wake and double tap to sleep, which means if you are using their specific home launcher, you can double tap to sleep. Which does kind of force you and tie you into their launcher. If you want to go ahead and use your phone while it's on your desk, you can double tap to sleep, but you need to use their launcher. I'd like to make note of a bit of a scratch that I accumulated. Not too sure how it actually happened, but if you take a look in the bottom left corner here, you'll see a little scratch, and that's the only thing that was scratched on this glass back. And because it has a glass back, they are able to enable wireless charging, so you can wirelessly charge with the V30. Now this might be a little difficult to see on camera, but I find that the SIM tray isn't necessarily flush with the phone itself, and I'm not sure if this is my unit particular, but right here you can kind of feel a little gap between the SIM tray, which can get a little annoying when you're holding it and you have your thumb right here. That's just a personal thing and just something I've noticed with my unit. Funny enough, one of the best things about this phone is the vibration motor. It kind of goes overlooked in terms of it being a feature. However, I've noticed that when I get text message notifications or even just type on a keyboard or just do things with the vibration motor, it is much better than any Android phone out right now, even getting close to rivaling Apple's vibration haptic feedback. I am personally a fan of their display. It is a 1440p display. It looks great, colors pop. One thing I don't like about it is the auto brightness doesn't work how it should. Their software has, even with the G6 and other models of their line of phones, the auto brightness just is always a little bit too low. So whenever I'm out and about, I need it to be a little bit brighter. So what I found, I just always need to manually set it. Bit of a pain, just something about LG phones that LG needs to fix. And of course it is 2018, but the LG V30 does have a headphone jack up at the top, and it's fantastic. Sound quality is the best you're going to get on any phone. However, for me, I wish it was down at the bottom. Just getting a little nitpicky, but whenever I put my phone in my pocket, it is the top down, so I wish the headphone cable could just come out that way. Not only does it have the headphone jack, but it also has expandable storage. You can throw a micro SD card in there, and also that dust and water resistance. It has added that even with that headphone jack up at the top. One really bad thing about this LG V30 is the Snapchat app. And I know Snapchat's not the greatest on Android, but it's extra bad on the LG V30. That camera quality is so grainy and just really terrible. It doesn't handle light very well. And of course, it's the same on most Android phones. Snapchat's just not as good as it is on iPhones, but it's just extra bad on the V30, which is a bummer because the rear camera on the LG V30 is actually good. And aside from the rear camera, that front-facing camera is terrible. It's just the quality is not where it needs to be in a flagship phone. So if you take a lot of selfies and use Snapchat, don't get this phone. Now, funny enough, Samsung has opened a huge door for LG for them to just kind of stand out in front of them, and they're missing their opportunity. LG has not updated their V30 to Android 8.0 Oreo yet. It just makes no sense why they're not making this a priority. It would just really help them stand out, make their fans a little bit more loyal, their customers a little bit more loyal, because they see, hey, we get the update before Samsung does. I'm going to stick with LG because of that. No. 7.1.2, no Oreo for the Samsung phones yet either. It's kind of a race to see which one wins. I will do videos on both of the updates, so be sure to click that subscribe button. Something good about the V30 is the included wide-angle lens, and I say that because they're just about the only ones that are still doing that. So when you use your camera, let's go ahead and go away from that terrible front-facing camera, and you'll see this is just normal. You could tap on specific things. It has some nice haptic feedback within the camera app, which is great because of that vibration motor I mentioned. But if you tap on these three trees, it enables that wide-angle lens, and look at how much more is captured through the camera when you use that wide-angle lens. This is perfect when you're maybe at a stadium, a sporting event, a concert, just when you need to include, or just like a landscape. You can get some really good shots out of a wide-angle lens, and LG is just about the only one including a specific lens for that. So if you do like to take those wide-angle shots, check out the V30. If you're someone that likes to take videos on your phone, this is the phone to get. They offer tons of different customizations within the app itself, whether you want to set a drama scene, scenery, documentary, just tons of different professional camera modes. And even you can go into manual mode, and the manual mode gives you all the options to customize that you would like, whether you want to change the white balance, autofocus, ISO, all of that. Battery life has been good for me. It gets me through a full day. You'll see 4 hours, 7 minutes, but make note of that battery percentage up at the top. Still 28% left, 5% battery with 4 hours and 15 minutes screen on time. So that's just shy of 5 hours screen on time, which is very good for me. Anything over 4 hours and 20 minutes about gets me through a full day. And you'll see 16%, 4 hours and 40 minutes, 4 hours left, but 4 hours screen on time with 27% battery life. So that gives you a good idea of how it is. It gets me through a full day. You don't need to throw it on the charger midday. Speed-wise, the V30 has stayed very quick. The skin over Android isn't very intrusive. It does add some nice little features, some display settings that you can customize, app scaling. You can change your screen resolution on the fly. It has a very useful always-on display mode. You have those home touch buttons, which you can customize and also change to add a Q slide, Capture Plus, or your notification tray dropping down. There are some theme options that LG has added. However, I am using the stock theme at the moment. And again, it just kind of forces you to use that home launcher with that double tap to sleep. Specifically, if you're someone that uses the phone that sits on a table and you want to sleep the phone, you can't just press the side button like I just did there. You have to double tap to sleep it, which is embedded in that LG launcher. Finally, one more quick comparison. This is with the Google Pixel 2 to give you a look at the size comparison with the bezels. Obviously, the Pixel 2 XL has front-facing speakers, so it makes the bezels just a little bit larger. So there you have it. That would be revisiting the LG V30, taking a look at how it does not have Android Oreo, however, still offers a great experience. That could be a nice alternative to Samsung phones if you're kind of sick of those or you want to try something new. The V30 definitely hits a lot of high-end points, but again, if you use that front-facing camera a lot, don't get this phone. If you use Snapchat quite a bit, it is frustratingly bad. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Click that thumbs up if you did. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Lots more content to come. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.